is the Improve and Have Fun podcast. I'm here with Jason G for the new year. I'm here with brother Mark.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, and we just finished coming out of seeing Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys for Life.
Nice.
And go ahead with you, Mark, because we don't always hear you, you know. So what's your thoughts on Bad Boys?
You know what?
Bad Boys 3.
Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys for Life. I definitely enjoyed it. It was a little slow in the beginning. Not slow. What I'm going to say is this. In the beginning, a lot happened. The whole shooting and everything. And then I feel like that transition, that 6 months later, it was like, what happened? That wasn't, it wasn't as smooth as I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
A lot happens in the first 20 minutes, Mike shot, and then it's just kind of like, all right, 6 months later, now we're going to really slow it down, and we'll progress through the movie. Definitely a lot of corny moments in there for sure. That's what you get with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith with their comedy, but it's still a lot of characters. I have to rewatch the first two because you guys caught a lot more than I did when it comes to old characters and all that kind of stuff. And then leading more into the whole child spin. I don't know if I was crazy about it. I don't think I really cared about it. I don't think it really fit into the narrative. Throw it in there if you want. The whole love story, fine. I think it could have been a good movie without it.
Okay.
Maybe that's their segue into going into another Bad Boys film, as we saw in the end. But overall, I thought it was, I give it a. I'm going to give it a 7.7.
Nice.
7.7.
Nice.
It wasn't ha funny, but there were some chuckle moments and there were some eye roller moments, definitely for sure.
Jason?
All right. Well, yes. Happy New Year, everyone. This is the first podcast of 2020.
That's right.
And yes, we had a good time. We saw it in the Dolby Theater. The sound was amazing.
We sat next to some
We
speakers.
sat next to a bunch of speakers, and it was really good. I would say that I think I agree with Mark with the transition about how they showed Will Smith all of a sudden just alive in the middle of the wedding, and then that was kind of a weird thing, but I overall very much enjoyed this movie. I thought actually the twist at the end with him being the father, Will Smith being the father of the guy who was trying to kill Will Smith, was a pretty interesting twist, and I thought it was a very well done
Did we get
script.
the kid's name, by the way?
Armando.
Was it Armando?
Will Smith says it like right before, like I think when
It took a while
the
for me to
mother
get his
shoots him.
name. I was like,
Yeah,
what's the kid's name?
One time, that's the only time I heard it.
I actually, I didn't mind that twist as much as you did, I think, Mark. But in fact, to tell you the truth, I'll say it now. I think this is the best of the three.
Wow.
My opinion.
That's
And because the story, I think, is the best of the three of them, and you really, keep engaged. The others
That's true.
are not. It's good action, but they're not
Get the
really
bad guy.
great stories.
Yeah, just
right.
like, there's
it's
a
just
bad guy,
okay
get the bad
stories,
guy.
and then it's more of them, having fun together. Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
The chemistry together, right?
Right.
Yeah. But that's what's important about Bad Boys too.
And then this I thought has of course the whole retirement thing was really good. We were talking about how one of the writers is the famous director Joe Carnahan, I think. Right?
Yeah, Joe Carnahan always made some great movies.
Yeah,
Smoking Aces.
He made some great movies. He made
really good movies.
A-Team, I think he did.
Which one? A-Team was great.
Which
as
is
well.
great.
Yeah.
Right.
The movie A-Team, and we see that he was part of the writing crew. I heard with interviews. Well, the main one I saw was on Sway's Universe. With the two of them on there. They did like a thing. Usually, they're like in a studio doing a radio show, but this thing was like with people in the audience. It was like a town hall setting kind of thing, but it was almost an hour actually. But they said that Will Smith was saying that he was waiting for the right script. And then I could see why that this one, had him saying, "Okay, this one looks pretty good."
Will Smith produced this movie. Like his production company is like Overbrook or Overbroad or over something.
Oh, he
It's
does have a
something with
company.
that's his production company.
Okay.
Like it was in the very beginning. Like I recognize it from Hitch. Like Hitch has the same.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
Right.
like Will Smith's thing. But I'm sorry, Jason.
Yeah,
Continue.
No,
This basically Will Smith had a big hand in making this.
that's interesting. And I think it's going to be a big hit. You know, it was, I would say, 2/3 full. Maybe it wasn't sold out, but
You know, it's funny because when I looked at the seating, it was pretty much sold out.
Really?
So like the first right.
At what time? At what time?
That was probably around 7.
Today,
7 today.
Yeah, because when I bought my seat yesterday, it wasn't full.
Right.
But like that's really good.
Like our row was supposed to be completely full.
Yeah.
Except J7
I think a lot
next
of
to me.
a lot of the reviews
Stuck in a
came out
concession
the last
line?
few days, right? I think the reviews came out like a lot of them came out today, right? Like.
I think the review embargo for the movie was like 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
But they were mostly positive.
But it was
like it's fresh and
it was like
Tomatoes.
78, and then it went to 75 the last time I saw. But that's pretty darn good.
Absolutely.
In fact, I looked at Bad Boys 1. It was under 60, so it was certified. It wasn't certified fresh. It was like 58.
Wow.
This movie had more positive reviews. I mean, I don't know if the total review
I don't know
count.
the second one, but I think that didn't get.
No, actually, what I was going to say, one of the biggest movies that came out last year, which I don't know if they have all the reviews counted, but this movie right now on Rotten Tomatoes has a more positive review than Rise of Skywalker.
Wow.
It does, because Rise of Skywalker is like in the 50%.
Oh, wow.
You know what it is though? Rise of Skywalker is just. That's a different movie.
Exactly.
That's a different part.
Exactly. But, I mean, I wanted you to finish your thoughts, though.
Yeah, and then a good point out on you for spotting the director of the first two and the Transformers movies, Michael Bay.
Yeah, which
You know,
is so
I
funny.
would have been like, what do I know this guy from? Damn, where do I know this guy from? And then later I probably would have read about it. But you saw it, and that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, because he very seldom has an acting role. But
Right, he
I want to
does,
zip
right.
up because I want you to finish.
No,
I'm so
no,
sorry.
no, I'm pretty much done. I'll let you go, and then I'll give you my score. But I thought it was the best of the three.
That's big.
Yeah, let me think about the score, but I'll tell it to you after you finish.
I think I'm listening to both of your points because this had shown me other sides. Like I had a review, but then listening to the both of you, it gave me some points that I wanted to add on to. Like Martin Lawrence becomes basically like Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon in this one, like the old man, like I'm too old for this shit. And then he becomes that in this movie.
Danny Glover.
Exactly. He's totally. But the jokes from 10, I don't know how long it's been since the last movie, from 10, 15 years ago. They updated it a little bit in terms of their chemistry and their comedy between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, but a lot of that is still like 10 years ago jokes.
Right. You're right.
And that's why I don't think it made us like super laugh. It was like kind of eye rolling, parts corny. But I'm big on nostalgia, and I like going back and revisiting old characters. So I like going back and having another adventure with these two, even though, like I said, they definitely feel like out of place. And but the good thing was that they didn't go it all alone. They were like, I need some help. Like they were first resistant, but then help came, and they were okay with help, which I was cool with. But listening to both of your points in terms of, I was okay with the movie in terms of it's very convenient, the whole father angle and stuff like that, and that he was with the woman. That woman, she's a fantastic actress. She has like this like show. I think it's on Netflix, where she's like the wife of a drug lord or something like that, and like it's a very good show. It's on Netflix. I recognize her from it. I don't know her name. The mother I'm talking about.
Right.
The kid I never saw before, like the kid. But I really get a feeling like they're going for a Fast and Furious vibe with this. And it wouldn't surprise me like if they make more sequels and like they keep adding to the team. So let's say we have the whole Ammo crew, and in there you had Vanessa Hudgens, who was great.
She was great.
She was. She really was.
Yeah,
I never saw the other kid. He was like a mix of Asian or something, but he was good. The big strong guy, I love him. I watch Vikings, and he's like one of the main characters in Vikings.
The one that needed therapy afterwards?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Body
Even though
count,
it didn't always fall with him. Like it wasn't super believable, like with him. And the woman, I've seen her in something else before, like the woman who became captain. I've seen her before in something else, but she was great though.
Was she in the previous Bad Boys?
No. This is like her first one.
Okay.
But I've seen her in something else before, but I don't know what it was, but she was great. Like I said, the cast was great. The movie was a lot of fun. And to tell you, the reason why I got those Fast and Furious vibes is because in watching this, like people were clapping and they were like really cheering for these characters.
Right.
And I really, like I've seen that before in Fast and Furious movies, and I haven't seen them all, but like they're like, and they're like clapping for them when they win, and people like in our section, people were clapping and like hooting and hollering. So I think this movie's gonna make a lot of money. I think over the 3-day weekend, because it is a 3-day weekend, I think it's gonna make a lot of money, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see another sequel. This movie for me had some eye-rolling moments, good action. I totally agree with what you said, Mark, in the sense of like the first half is kind of wonky. But then after Will Smith kind of comes back, and spoilers for this review, when Will Smith kind of is recovering, that's when the movie starts to build.
Correct.
But that first half, if the movie stayed on that first half, like if the rest of the vibe was like that, and to say it was a 90-minute movie, it would have been totally disposable action movie.
Exactly.
But because of that reset, after he gets shot, and then it starts to build to this crescendo before the ending, you really get a feeling like you become, and like you start to remember why I like these characters and why I like this movie. Right. So. Yeah, those are my notes. But if you guys, we'll do one more go around and then we'll finish it up.
Yeah.
Did you have any other notes you wanted to?
Yeah, I mean that, and it really wasn't within like the first 20 minutes. Where it was like
it's completely.
I'm like, wait, okay, Mike's dead. What's going on here? And then it's just like you said, the reset, slow, build up, and then, the ending was. Trying to.
It was a Fast and Furious ending.
I know.
And they all having a dinner, and they're all, hey, friendship. Yeah.
I know.
Family. We're family.
Even the fire down below, and then she's.
Oh, you mean you're talking about the very end?
Yeah, like I don't want to say finale, but just the climax, the big scene. It's just sitting. I'm just kind of like, oh, this is just. It's just so.
Derivative.
Yeah.
Like I've seen this before.
I'm just sitting there. I'm like, okay, guys, all right. I enjoy it, but I've definitely seen this vibe before.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a great point.
I mean, but I still think it was a pretty good movie. I'm not always a big fan of Martin Lawrence. I like his comedy skits. I like his stand-up comedy. Movie-wise,
the show was good.
He's okay. Yeah.
We're talking present day.
Present day, but he doesn't have a lot of work present day, does he?
Yeah, he doesn't.
Will Smith, he's done a couple of things like Suicide Squad and all that kind of stuff.
He did Gemini Man.
Gemini. I didn't see Gemini Man, by the way, but
action movie, fantastic, but it was like thin on the kind of story.
But I still like the chemistry between these two, and I think they will come out with probably. I think two. I see two more.
You
I see
said,
two more.
I just wanted to piggyback on one of your points, but I'm going to zip it because I want Jason to go.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to go now?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, to close up, I want to say, I forgot to mention Ammo. That was a great twist. Also, I thought them being older and then clashing sometimes with the younger crew, and then the younger crew is like using a lot of technology.
I like that.
That was really good.
I really like that because that's realistic.
Mixing the old school with
you're
the new
gonna
school.
get resistant to the new blood, but then be like, let's just move together.
Yes.
Great point.
And then
I didn't like the drone, by the way. I'm sorry.
I'm drawing it.
Somebody had to have seen it.
Exactly.
Listen, especially in auto
so
shop.
obvious.
I'm like, somebody had to have seen that.
Exactly.
They just floating over there making that noise.
Let me tell you,
what is it?
I know these drones. I know that particular drone in this movie.
Yeah.
And that drone is not the quietest drone.
That's what I'm sitting there. I'm like, somebody had to have seen it and been like, what is that over there?
But Jason,
there's a lot of stuff that's like not
ridiculous.
realistic.
Like the blood in the car when they're driving. I'm like, what is this? Like you guys didn't even, the digitization. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, and like his son, how could he get away with shooting Will Smith and then shooting all these people and always being at the right time in the right space? I mean, in the middle of with the same bike, the same look every single time.
Nobody spotted him.
And
Nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, that was unrealistic.
You have a bike helmet on? Oh man,
he's getting helicopters and freaking bazookas.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm like, this is Miami PD.
No bullets.
It's Miami PD, and I feel like these are the only cops that are on the street in the city right now. I'm like, nobody else has a copper in this. Like, he's over here on 17th and 4th.
Exactly.
Like, follow him in the air.
2020? Are we?
What's going on?
2009, dog. Yeah.
But anyway, I thought it was very well done, but I once again, it could be a little like weird, the way that the twist is with him being the father and all that, and then at the end it's like, well, now you're kind of feeling differently because now it's no longer the usual bad guys versus the good guys versus the bad guys. But then, this is the third one. They want to make it a little different. They want to switch it up a little. So I still, like I said, didn't mind that. I actually liked it. But my score, I would say, is an 8.3.
Wow,
that's 8.3.
I
thought it was very, very good.
Let me ask this. Did you guys find it a surprise when it was like, well, it's going on this whole, wife is getting revenge because these people were behind the husband's murder. But now I was like, oh, no, that's actually Mike's lover. And it didn't shock me. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, that's what's going on here? It was kind of like a, meh.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it was supposed to be a bigger reveal. Like, the audience should have been like, whoa. Oh, it's not about the husband. It's more about their love triangle, and now he's the son. And it wasn't a big reveal to me. It wasn't a big surprise. It was just kind of like, let's watch it go on and see what happens.
It's a little soap opera-ish.
Yeah.
It's a little soap opera-ish.
That's probably why Martin Lawrence made that reference a couple of times in there.
Yeah.
Casa de Nuevo, or whatever he says.
Yeah.
It's all misunderstanding.
Yes. But I mean, I'm gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
If you guys want to, interrupt me. I think it was very, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. It was a moment. There was a moment when Mike Lowry, he follows Martin Lawrence into. What was Martin Lawrence's
Marcus.
name? Marcus. Okay.
Yeah.
He follows Marcus into the house, and he's like, "I need your help." He's like, "I need this," and I found that very kind of. When has Will Smith had a hit? And it's been a while. Because Gemini Man completely flopped. He was in Aladdin, but I mean, it's a Disney movie, and the movie made $1 billion.
Of course.
But when was the last time Will Smith made a movie that actually was hit? And so
Like
I kind of
super hit, yeah.
Early 2000s
Exactly.
at least. Should have happened.
So I kind of felt a moment there when he said that I need this. Like, I need Bad Boys to kind of work because I'm kind of out the door a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Even though he could of course, still find work and in co-starring roles and stuff like that. But in terms, I mean, I don't think that's just exclusive to him, though, because I think there's a lot of actors and actresses who, just because...
At one point, he was like...
He was one of the top
They said
dudes.
the
He was
most
one of the top
bankable
dudes.
star. They said July 4th weekend was his for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
Like one of the...
Not anymore. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
no,
and
not as much.
I mean, but honestly, I think the only real big movie star these days is maybe a Tom Cruise, and that's not even guaranteed because that doesn't mean that anything that he comes out with
Yeah, he's
will be
stuck
hit.
around for Mission Impossible 6.
Yeah, because I mean, Brad Pitt is, and all these.
What does he have coming out, by the way? I'm sorry.
Oh, Top Gun.
Top Gun too.
Top Gun, which looks great, But basically, the time of the movie star, I think, is definitely fading away. And what I'm trying to say by that is, I definitely think this is going to do well. And like I said, I do hope that they make sequels. My score for this movie was a 7 because it was so much fun. And I'm even going to go higher.
Solid. I was going to say solid 7?
I'm going to like a 7.5 because the audience that we were with, they were super focused and they elevated it for me because of their being so into it.
Right.
Yeah, you could tell they were.
Yeah, I
big
love that
fans
they were
of the
clapping and they
original.
were
Yeah,
like cheering them on. Yeah,
Oh,
and
very,
you hear
very.
that, and I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my final score, 7.5. And for a January movie, and you get these kind of weird, sometimes January movies. I think Notorious was a fantastic January movie. Last year, 2019, one of my favorite movies that came out for the whole year was The Kid Who Will Be King that came out in January. So this sometimes
for a January movie,
movies,
this is a big,
this is great.
great
yeah,
hit,
yeah.
great movie.
But
one other thing I was going to say,
Oh, yeah, please.
that in that interview on Sway's Universe with the two of them, he was saying that he was specifically waiting for a good script because other movies, sequels in the
I
past
think that's
weren't as
kind
good.
of a-
So I'm like, then they say, well, can you give an example? What movies or sequels that you didn't like? And he said, well, I thought with Men in Black, the first one was really good, and then it went down from there. And I was like totally disagree with him because I like the third one the best.
I am so with you because, I never really liked the Men in Black series. I thought it was such popcorn fluff. But it's true. But the third one
That's
was
the best term for
the,
it.
the third one, I was almost in tears.
Well,
in
the first
Yeah,
one,
the third one was great.
Yeah, the third one was really good in that way.
I'm
the
with you
first
100%,
one,
yeah.
it was like zero story. It was
Oh,
it was
I
all
did
about
not
the
like it. I
chemistry
didn't like it.
between the two of them.
Yeah.
And
I
then
think that was more of a Y2K thing, though.
and then
An alien movie out there with Will Smith in there.
I mean, it made the most money of the
Yeah,
bunch.
exactly.
no, but it was the introduction. It was introducing him, Will Smith's character into the Men in Black, organization.
Right, yeah.
It was all about that, like him being this outsider, and then
It's like you're being introduced. It's like
Right,
you're Will
exactly.
Smith, and they're introducing you to
exactly. So that's what
The
that
whole first movie
about.
was setting the
But,
stage.
but when you watch it again, it's like there's zero story to it. There's nothing.
It's like a series of events.
It's a series of events. But the third one was awesome, and the fact they got this guy, what was the actor who played
Josh
the young?
Brolin.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Josh Brolin is always.
Anyway, I don't want
something,
to
though.
make it about.
You mean
him,
Back in Time?
but
the Back in Time one.
Exactly, like he plays
Not
the young Tommy
International.
Lee Jones. No, International. I didn't see International, but I mean the reviews were so terrible.
I didn't.
I saw it recently.
I wasn't a fan, and I
it-
thought Will
you
Smith
saw
would have
it?
made I thought he would have made a cameo. Besides the picture on the wall,
Maybe he just watches.
I thought it was. I thought it was better than everyone was saying.
Okay,
Because
okay.
I saw it like a week or two ago on Blu-ray, and I was like expecting it to be horrible, but no, it wasn't that bad.
Horrible.
It was
Okay.
the director was F. Gary Gray, right?
Yes, it
and
was.
he's a good director, so he
I
could-
think I heard in passing that maybe it was studio interference or
yeah, they might have
supposedly
twisted some stuff.
he wasn't even at the premiere, something like that. He had beef with the studio in making this movie.
Oh.
And
Maybe.
and actually,
that's probably why there wasn't a tie-in.
it was a guy. I just heard this recently. It was a guy from the studio who finished the film, and
Wow.
he didn't.
Wow.
So
Who,
maybe
the
that's
F.
the
Gary
reason.
Gray?
Like he didn't
Oh,
finish
okay.
it. Like, I mean,
interesting.
yeah, I heard that recently.
too bad.
I think I heard that like one of the people I like to watch on YouTube, Grace Randolph, fantastic. She was like saying about this.
Interesting. I'll
She
have
put
to
that like
read
in a,
into
like
it,
or somebody else like they put it on the worst movies of the year, and they were saying because of studio interference, this movie didn't come out the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
Same with Hellboy. Same with the Hellboy movie. You know, but guys, we're gonna wrap it up. If you have any final comments, I'm good to go.
Final comments? I just want to say, don't forget, because I don't know, many people don't know, but the Bad Boys song was done by a group called Inner Circle. Check out their stuff. It's really pop kind of reggae, but they're a cool band. And I saw them live when I was in Japan, and I like them.
What year was this?
It was in the early 90s.
Very cool.
Inner Circle. Go check them out. Anyway, have a good evening.
First movie of the year we've reviewed. Mark, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
Jason, I love that you're here.
Bad
we haven't
boys,
seen something in
bad
a while.
boys.
And that's it. This is Improving That Fun podcast, and we're out.
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 Boom.
See you later.
That's it, fellas.